Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an unexplained phenomena video on time storms. Now, we uploaded this before, but there was a glitch, so we had to pull it back down and then re-upload it. So here we go. Before I get into this, though, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on all of your social media platforms, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. And check me out over on Rumble for my political commentary and weekly current events. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including the two on the screen, Vanguard 1 and Task Force Terminus. Those are the first two in the Devo Poland Chronicles. And a reason I use these for this particular video is because I'm getting ready to put the third one up. Gulag of the Damned. We have not got a picture of it yet because we're still in the process of getting it put up, but it will be up shortly. So it's a really great story about a little alien guy named Devo Poland who comes to Earth and learns to fight. Check them out on Amazon, read the back, see if it's something you might be interested in. If not, I got a bunch of other stuff there. Find something you like, and I hope you enjoy it. So here we go, time storms. I've done videos about time slips and alternate dimensions. Go and check those out. I do a lot of unexplained phenomena on my video. Be sure and check them all out because, they're all interesting. This particular one is something that happens more frequently than people would care to admit. And I'm going to give you one specific example, and then we'll go on with the others. We'll go on with it here. In August of 1993, a family from Portland, Oregon may very well have experienced some sort of a time slip, or it's a time storm is what it is. They left on a road trip, headed up the coast to Vancouver. The father, Nelson, the mother, Rebecca, and the three children, Ray, 14, Edward, 12, and Roberta, 10, were looking forward to an overnight camping trip after visiting their relatives in the city. They'd done this before. It was a pretty regular thing for them. Everyone tried to sleep except for Nelson because it was kind of an evening drive. At about 10 p.m., a massive thunderstorm hit, and the drive became a bit concerning. Now, Nelson was an excellent driver, so, they'd made the drive several times before, so he went ahead and pressed on because he figured it's just a storm. It's no big deal. Well, sometime along the drive, Interstate 5 seemed to shimmer and change. Excuse me. A few moments later, they passed a car. The car was going the same way they were. They just got moved over, got past it, and got back into their lane. The car looked like a 1950s Ford Thunderbird. The car was in excellent shape, and the driver gave them a strange look as they passed him. Now, Nelson thought it was odd, but assumed someone was a collector of antique or classic cars, so he didn't think nothing else of it. Then they passed another vehicle. This one was an old Woody panel wagon. Nelson assumed that there was some kind of an antique car show in the area. Why they would be driving those antique vehicles in a rainstorm is beyond me, but why they would be driving them is beyond me. But there you go. Then about a half an hour later, they saw another vehicle in the oncoming lane. It was an old Ford Roadster, possibly a Model T. He wasn't sure. Nelson got a good look at the driver. The driver wore goggles and an old-fashioned leather driving overcoat, which was popular back in the 1920s. Nelson thought that was really odd, but figured it was the people, entering the car shows. Maybe they go all out, maybe they dress for the period and everything. Then about midnight or so, the storm let up and Nelson spotted a wagon off the road being pulled by a team of horses. It was in a dirt access road off the highway. It was a wagon being pulled by horses. The man driving the team wore a wool overcoat and a brown hat like you would see in an old Western. The man stopped his team and stared at Nelson's vehicle as it passed by. Then the man pulled a rifle from the seat next to him. So Nelson hit the gas and sped up. I would too, wouldn't you? The man didn't seem menacing, but it looked more like he was scared. So a few hours later, the storm returned, and Nelson noticed the shimmering again. Half hour later, they decided to stop in at a diner in Bellingham. Now, this is getting just about dawn. A state cop was in the diner, so Nelson struck up a conversation with him. He mentioned the old cars, and the cop said that there were no car shows in the area. When Nelson mentioned the man on the wagon, the cop got silent. Excuse me. Then he explained that such occurrences in storms happen from time to time along I-5. Now, Nelson asked if anyone had ever spoken to the people that they saw, and the policeman just shook his head. He paid his tab and he left. Evidently, the cops know all about it, but they're not talking. Amazing, isn't it? Now, keep in mind, this is not the only time such storms have created similar anomalies. It's happened quite often. Well, not quite often, but it happens from time to time. Saying quite often might be a bit of a stretch, but it does happen from time to time. Apparently on I-5. So if you're ever out and driving at night and there's a storm, and it's a pretty bad storm, and you see that shimmering, pay close attention. Maybe pull out your phone and start getting video of things you see. You might need proof. You never know. I hope this finds everybody well. And if anybody else has any more stories like this or has heard of any more, please put them in the comments. I know I would love to read them. I'm sure everybody else would too. You folks have a good one now. God bless one and all.